Well, hello, this is Todd. I am here at High Shoals Cemetery in Dallas, Georgia. This is an older cemetery from the church that's across the street. They moved the church down to the corner right there behind me, and they have another cemetery across the street there. But this is the early founder cemetery. We're going to take a brief walk through and see what we can find.
Shopkeeper.
You were a shopkeeper. All right, we have Elizabeth Holland Matthews,
Unquestionably.
1833 to 1915. We have, here is a Confederate marker. It's G. Peter Matthews, Company C, Georgia State Line, Confederate States Army, June 13th, 1831 to August 15th, 1898. Gilbert Peter Matthews was one of four sons born to Carrie J. and Sarah A. Smith Matthews. Gilbert and his three brothers, John Hopkins, Benjamin Mickley, and William C., all served with the Confederate States Army and all made it home after the war ended. We have Lindsay W. Ellsbury, Company A, 40th Georgia Infantry, CSA 1837 to 1862. Lindsay was one of 12 children born to Lindsay Walton Sr. and Sarah E. M. Caldwell Ellsbury. His brothers Benjamin, James, Joseph, Zebulon, Matthew, and George all served in the Confederate Army. Though no records confirm, it is alleged that Lindsay died in a hospital on September 13, 1862. This was most likely due to illness, as the 40th Georgia did not see combat until 1863. His brother Matthew was captured at Vicksburg, being transported via a Union prison ship to Mobile, Alabama on August 3, 1863, and then died on August 12th. It is unknown if his death was to disease, most likely, or complications of a wound suffered at Vicksburg, or a combination of both. The remaining brothers all survived the war. And William Aubrey Noland,
Don't leave me.
First Lieutenant, Company I, 12th Georgia Cavalry, Confederate States Army, January 17th, 1828 to August 29th, 1884. Thank you for your service and sacrifice, sir. We have Father W.
Shop.
A. Noland. There we go, 1884. So that was Mr. Noland's marker. Sally, daughter of W. A. and S. C. Noland, 1877 to 1880. No, I'm not frightened at all. Miss Stewart. This is S.D. Oh, the son of S.D. and can't make out the G. Vollum, born August 18th, 1884, died July 18th, 1886. Wow. Holland. That was Holland. We have another Confederate marker here. This would be J.J. Scott, Company F, 1st Georgia Volunteer Cavalry.
She's hiding.
CSA 1830 to 1882. Thank you much for your service and sacrifice, sir.
I'm moving.
It is beautiful back here. You have this vault that's overgrown here. And this is for Henry Holland, born August
Cable.
11th, 1835, died December 15th, 1870. Henry's father and mother, Archibald and Elizabeth Hagan, were among the first white settlers, 1836, and founding families of Paulding County, Georgia, 1838. According to family history, when returning home one day, Henry's horse bolted as he turned into the road to his home. Henry fell from the saddle, but his foot got caught in the stirrups. He was dragged down the ravine right to his doorstep. Henry, being severely injured and before he could recover fully, contracted pneumonia and died. And this is Sarah A. Holland,
I can't see you.
born August 15th, 1833, and
Be
died May
quiet.
20th, 1901. You can see this faux vault here with this holly tree, and then this looks like some sort of fir coming right out of the top of it.
Lady.
You have a stone marker here.
He is touching you.
That's okay, as long as he does no harm. Yeah. So I assume this was a vault. I mean, it could be an actual faux vault that's just disintegrated over the years, and they just kept piling up rocks here and stones here. You have a stone marker laying on the ground here, one there. These are just field stone markers here. This is the original headstone. Thankfully, they have the VA stone here. It's Edward Hagan III, Company A, 9th Battalion Cavalry, Georgia State Guard, Confederate States Army, August 26, 1807 to July 4th, 1890. Co-founder of church in 1841. So the co-founder of High Shoals Church. And then this must be his wife, Miss Parthenia S. Hagan, co-founder, 1841. She was born in 1813 and died in 1881. Mr. Hagan, thank you for your service and sacrifice, sir. So you have just some fieldstone markers. Back here there are two memorials. I'm fairly certain that this one's probably one of a child. And it is. You have this Confederate marker, J.M. Hicks, Corporal, Company D, 22nd Georgia Infantry, Confederate States Army, December 6, 1841 to July 15th, 1882. Thank you much for your service and sacrifice, sir. This one here,
I want to come.
I believe is just the headstone of Mr. Hicks here. And I'm always fascinated with the burials all the way back in corners. So we have Miss Permelia Dodd, co-founder of church in
Can you hear her?
1841, 1798 to 1879. We have another Confederate marker here. This would be George Washington Holland, Sergeant Company C, 22nd Georgia Volunteer Infantry, Confederate States Army, July 15th, 1839 to June 1st, 1896. George Washington Holland was the son of Archibald and Sarah Hagan Holland. During the Civil War, he fought in several battles, most notably 2nd Manassas, Gettysburg, Chancellorsville, Wilderness, Spotsylvania, and Cold Harbor. George was captured twice, at Antietam and Stone Mountain, and wounded at Chancellorsville, but followed General Lee to Gettysburg instead of staying behind. George is pictured here with his brother Harrison, who enlisted into the Confederate Army on April 15, 1863. Unfortunately, just 7 days short of 4 months after enlisting, Harris died of disease at a Rome, Georgia hospital on August 8, 1863. William J. Bud Finch, grandson of William and Sarah Adolph Finch, 1853 to 1930. And as I've stated in many videos before, I usually seek out military headstones first and foremost. We have Mr. Samuel Donsel Holland, Company C, 22nd Georgia Infantry, Volunteer Infantry, Confederate States Army, October 15th, 1829 to January 11th, 1907. Thank you much for your service and sacrifice, sir. This is Hartwell Lee, born April 18th, 1810, died October 31st, might be October 13th, 1868. And this is Edwin Anderson, born 1811, died May 17th, 1851. We have more Confederate markers here. We have Sergeant Jonathan J. Forsyth, Company C, 22nd Georgia Infantry, Confederate States Army, August 11th, 1834 to April 16th, 1889. Thank you much for your service, sir. We have 3rd Lieutenant Martin Forsyth Sr., Dozier's Company, Georgia Infantry, September 21st, 1810 to May 18th, 1888. Thank you much for your service, sir. And William Hicks Sr., Dozier's Company, Georgia Infantry, Confederate States Army, June 15th, 1882 to February 15th, 1891. Thank you much for your service and sacrifice, sir. Here's another faux vault here. And it belongs to Samuel D. McGregor, 1805 to 1874. Not only is this the final resting place of Samuel Dean McGregor, it is also known to be the resting place of his wife, Sarah Ann Gaines, 1811 to 1880, and a slave woman by the name of Pocahontas or Pokey. Pokey was owned by the McGregors, thus she had their last name. Apparently she was so well thought of by the McGregors that, per their wishes, she was buried alongside them. Several decades ago, there was once a headstone that was engraved with, "In the memory of Pocahontas McGregor, female slave of Mr. Samuel D. McGregor, and in whose honor the Pokey Hole in Raccoon Creek was named." VA marker here. Now, I don't know if I can see it from that angle. May have to come around here, see what unit he was in. He was 2nd Lieutenant, Company D, 1st Regiment, Georgia Cavalry. Very good. Thank you much for your service, sir. You have more field stones here. One right here. And this here is Francis M. Robert, Private, Company C, 22nd Georgia Infantry, Confederate States Army, 1834 to 1883. Thank you much for your service, sir. Here we have William T. Penn, born October 15th, 1849, died March 7th, 1907. Pass me not, O gentle Savior, hear my humble cry. And Josie Penn, January 16th, 1860 to January 27th, 1936. 'Twas hard to give thee up, but thy will, O God, be done. Here we have John T. Monk and Georgia Holland Monk. John T. December 25th, 1861 to July 28th, 1944. With Georgia September 9th, 1862 to February 15th, 1934. Looks like they built this wall back up. My guess is it was eroding really, really bad. Here is Elizabeth Carleton, born March 17th, 1816, died January 22nd, 1853. We have more field stones here. Plenty of folks that are buried here have gotten lost as who they were over time. So we're back down here where the moss was. Beautiful little cemetery, very quiet. And we have Franklin Clifford Burnett, February 8th, 1886 to June 5th, 1934. And Evelyn Monk Burnett, March 22nd, 1900, January 24th, 1957. She may be one of the last folks that buried in here before they discontinued using it and moved to the other location. Beautiful place. And very peaceful. They have the waterfall back here that's down the trail, but the trail is closed. So I won't be going down there. That about concludes our video here at High Shoals Church Cemetery. Like I said before, this was the original site of the church and the cemetery. They moved the church across the way and have a new cemetery out over across from it. thank you again for joining me on this walk. You have a very, very blessed day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And share the videos. Help grow the channel. So thank you very much. We'll see you on the next walk.
Thank you for watching Cemetery Walks. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click those share, like, and notification buttons to stay up to date with my latest videos and posts.